Uh,
All right, greetings. Back again, Alvis Tennant, The Way of Victory on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. There's over 100 videos out there for your use. So now I'm going to talk today with the theme of my 50 years of martial and healing art practice. But just people have asked me to go a little bit into my childhood and my first fight. Again, I don't advocate, violence. I'm just merely telling you my particular history and the path that I took. So I was born in Connecticut. Then we moved to New Jersey. Then we moved to Nigeria. And then we moved to New York, New Rochelle, New York. And then we moved to Redlands, California. That was my childhood. I was never in one place more than 4 years, and so I got through this thing of being the new kid and becoming adjusted and kind of fitting in with wherever I was. I just introduced that because it kind of pertains to this next story. Oh, why did I do all that traveling? My father had jobs with the U.S. government. He also had a job with several some high-level corporations that sent him to these different countries and different places. He ended up as a college professor in California, just for the curious. Anyway, 1963, we moved back from Nigeria, but before we moved to New Rochelle, New York, for 6 months we were in Chicago with my mother's parents. So we moved to Chicago, went to an elementary school called John J. Pershing on the south side of Chicago. We lived on King Drive. I think it was called South Parkway. Then it wasn't even King Drive. Then they changed it to Martin Luther King Drive. Anyway, so we moved to this school. Now, mind you, when I'm in Nigeria, I'm the son of my father, kind of an executive businessman for the Squibb Pharmaceutical Company. He was the West African representative for that company. So we had a huge house. We had servants. We had, and my peers were Australian, Belgium, English, some American, white. It was a white environment. But I'm a kid, so I fit right in, and I'm there. I had very clear speech and very what I'd like to think of as good manners. Fast forward, we moved to Chicago, 1963. Probably 95% black environment, lower middle class and lower class. Socioeconomic level. I'm not saying about anybody personally, but socioeconomically and experientially, most people have been native Chicagoans. Just giving you the picture. So I moved back in, go to this school. John J. Pershing was the name of the school, Chicago South Side. And the teacher introduces me, the new kid, Alvis. He just came. He's joining us. He just came from Africa, Nigeria, Africa. So second grade, the whole class just goes into a deep laugh. Kids falling on the floor laughing, and I'm dressed not like they're dressed. I've got my whatever style I had then, but it definitely didn't fit in with where I was. I think I had some loafers with actual pennies in them, and my shirt was all tucked in. I'm trying to look nice for my first day of school, so I didn't fit in at all. And they laughed. One kid was rolling on the floor laughing. Another kid threw something at my head. And then so I'm like, I'm feeling bad. And as I come back, from school, it didn't get any better. So the next day I'm being teased, Africa, Africa, and I'm trying to Yeah, I'm really feeling bad in school. You know how your parents are. How's things going in school? I was like, it was fine, but I'm choked up, man. I'm feeling real bad, and then kids, they stole my took one kid took an apple off my tray, and just ate it. He just took an apple. Another kid, grabbed a tape. Then this kid, knocked my stuff down. So I'm being bullied. I mean, it's really like a bully situation. And I didn't really know, what to do or how to do it. So I'm thinking I can't continue this. This went on for, I want to say a week, but I think might have been a couple weeks. I was a little skittish. I'd never been in this type of environment, and I was scared, and they called me a punk, and I kind of actually was a punk. I felt like a punk, and it became a very stinging word. And then we used to watch cowboy movies and stuff. So all I knew how to throw a punch was like this, or like this. But they said girls fought like that. So I just started practicing that. And I went to school, man. I was all shook up, but I just was like, today's the day. So this kid had punched me in my stomach, knocked the wind out of me, and they ran away laughing. And then this older kid began to talk to me about fighting. He actually showed me, I showed him what punch I could do, and he kind of cleaned it up a little bit to where make sure that you hit with your knuckles, and I think he was like a boxer. And then you want to hit him hard and hit him fast as you can. And so he kind of coached me a little bit, got inside my head, and at that recess, somehow it got out, he's going to fight Sam. There was two guys, Sam and I think Michael was the other guy. So Sam was the lead bully in my case. Everybody knew that he was going to bully me, and I just basically took it. So anyway, I'm feeling bad, but I knew that today was the day. So we go out to recess. I'm in second grade now. The sixth graders, fifth graders, fourth graders, third grade. I'm one of the smallest classes. So they back then, don't do this today, but back then, the kids actually, there were fights that would go on, especially in that school. So I'm in the middle of a circle with these kids. And I just remembered I'm gonna hit him as hard as I can, as fast as I can, because the guy that was talking to me just drilled that into me. Hit him as hard as you can, as fast as you can. So this was my first bully experience. So when we got out there, he came out and pushed me, and I just swung like this and caught him right in the jaw, second grade. Bang! He went back like this. He went back like this and was looking right at me, right in my eyes. And they tried to push him out to come back out. He didn't want no more. He just kept backing up and was looking me right in my eyes, and I kept looking at him because I had another one for him. But he didn't come back. But his boy came out. So that was Sam. So Michael rushed out at me, and it was a good day for me. Bam! Same punch, same spot, same reaction. He was hit. Backed up, look at me right in my eye. They pushed, get him, go out there and get him. He was like, they were both kind of out on their feet. I think I hit them both right in the same spot, and it felt, I could feel a surge. My hand didn't hurt. So I hit one guy, hit the other guy, exact same punch, exact same spot, exact same reaction. Needless to say, after that, I was looked at a little more friendly in the school. I was included in the game. I stopped being called a punk and other names. And I knew that the thing to do with a bully, at least when I was coming up, that was the thing to do. You've got to fight a bully. You got to let them know you're not afraid. You got to stand up for yourself. And the sooner you do it, the better off you'll be. So after second grade, or that was like half of second grade, then we moved to New Rochelle, New York. Now in New Rochelle, New York, I actually didn't have any bully situations. I just clicked with this group of guys. They were the toughest kids in second grade, and I was with them from second, third, fourth. So I was around a crew. I mean, we used to wrestle and box and play around, but I didn't have any bully experience at that point until when we moved to Turkey, Ankara, Turkey. I don't know if I put that in there. We moved to Turkey. So it went like this. Born in Connecticut, moved to New Jersey, moved to Nigeria, moved to New York with a stopover in Chicago, and then we moved to Ankara, Turkey. Then we moved to California. That's my childhood. So what happens is when we moved to Turkey in New Rochelle, left New Rochelle, we went to White Plains, New York, for like half of fifth grade. I'm in fifth grade now. For the last half of fifth grade, before we went to Turkey, we lived in White Plains with my grandparents, my father's parents this time. And so in White Plains, we went to a school called Eastview School. Eastview was from kindergarten all the way for 12th grade. Everybody in White Plains, you went to Eastview. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know if there was another high school anywhere around, but that's all I knew. Eastview was from kindergarten to 12th grade. Huge school, a lot of different people, and I did have another bully experience. I was petrified. These guys they just seemed so rough, and they this kind of the same type bullying tactics. You know, kid from New Rochelle, you soft, you come from New Rochelle. It started with a little pushing, you know, a little taking stuff off my tray, almost a repeat of what I had in Chicago. And you know, but I was scared. I knew I needed to fight, but I was filled with fear. And this guy on my block named Nathan, I'll never forget him. God bless you, Nathan. Thank you for your help. He witnessed me being bullied and said, "You can't let these guys bully you like that. You're gonna have to fight." And he began to teach me actual boxing, throwing a lot of punches. So I was pretty fast, pretty athletic, and he showed me proper the jab, cross, hook, and uppercut. He showed that to me. He said those are the 4 fundamental punches. But if you can get somebody on the ropes, you just want to drill them. So we practiced drilling on like a pillow, or you know, some type of he actually had a mitt, and he practiced. So I did that for like 3 or 4 days. He said, "You're gonna fight them today, right?" I said, "Yeah, I guess so. If they mess with me." He said, "No, you're gonna fight them today. Today's the day." And so we were coming home. I forgot all about, because I hadn't been being bullied for a little while, and I didn't really want to fight. So Nathan, we're going home, and Nathan says, "Hey, you going to the house?" I said, "Yeah," because we lived on like the same block. He said, "Yeah, I'll walk with you." And as we were walking, he said, "No, let's go this way." And so we went another way. In retrospect, it was all a setup. So when we went this way, we went through like a little field, and then his boys come out. 2 guys. One's named Gary. One's named Tony. And so what happened is Tony came out, and they said, "There he is," and they came running out to get me. And Nathan he said, "I'll hold your bag," and pushed me out. And so same thing, circle up, it came out. And Nathan just said, he was like my corner man, "Just do what you did before, or do what I showed you." And I drilled Gary with about, we weren't hard punches, but I drilled him with about 12 punches straight to nothing but face, pop, 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 just like the pad. And then I just would jump around, because Ali was champ then. They said, "Ooh," and he was a little shook. He came in again. Nathan just yelled at me, "Keep doing it." Pop, 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 all in his face. He couldn't stop it. You know, they were just peppering him. You know, it wasn't like a knockout punch like the ones in Chicago. But I just did that. Then he grabbed me some kind of way, and Nathan told me, "Kick him." I kicked him. He let go, and the fight basically, an old man came out and broke it up, and we all went away. But Tony basically got his ass kicked, and that's what went around the whole school, is that new kid kicked Tony's ass because Tony was supposed to be like a tough guy. So it again was like a repeat of what happened in Chicago. I became cool, we played, and I was okay, but I had to stand up to the bully. So it's better to do it sooner rather than later. It's better not to let it happen. You can't be bullied. You've got to stand up for yourself. And that doesn't always apply like this. This is kids fighting. But sometimes as adults, there may be bullying in the workplace. There may be bullying in different situations. And it's best to stand up and nip it in the bud in whatever way.